welcome to my channel. Here we're gonna do, I'm so excited because we're gonna do our first tutorial, and I decided it's gonna be, I have to make a pair of socks for one of my younger cousins, and so I'm going to show you guys how I make socks. There's going to be really cute summer socks, and you guys are going to learn how to make your edition of these really cute summer socks. So you can stay tuned with all of the upcoming videos that I'm going to be posting. Me, and I also have my daughter, but she's not with me right now. So anyways, I'm rambling and I do that, so you have to get used to it. But okay, so for this tutorial we are going to need, let's do our supplies. We're going to need stretch fabric though. You want a 4-way stretch is best. 2-way can also, you can use 2-way, but you'll have to probably use the method where you're going to trace your foot. Okay, so let's get started. You're also going to need a piece of some tape. You may need some tape, and you're going to need some cutting shears, one for fabric and one for cutting out your pattern. You never want to use the same shears that you cut your fabric with to cut anything else, because it dulls it over time. Okay, so you want to keep your, you know, they're expensive, so you want to keep your cutting shears for your fabric separate from the shears that you're going to cut with anything else. Okay, and you're probably going to need some sewing needles, these little pins to pin your pattern, or if you like weights, some people prefer weights instead of pins. You're going to need an old sock, okay, an old sock, or this is my boyfriend's sock, but yeah, this is way too big for me. However, you can always edit your pattern to actually fit yourself, but I'm just showing you this so you can see the style is different than these little short ankle socks that I have here. Okay, so let's get started by, first we're going to take our sock. There's two different ways you can do this. You can either take your piece of paper, put it on the floor, put your foot on top of it, and trace out your bottom foot. Okay, now the way that I'm doing this sock is that I don't want the seam to be underneath my foot. I want them on the side. Okay, so trace your foot out. I'm going to trace out the sock because I'm only going to do it for, like I said, it's kid socks. So go ahead and trace your foot, or trace your sock. I already have done one, which I have here, and you guys have to excuse me because I am using this camera. This is all I have right now, and so you're gonna see me going back and forth and all this other crap. So bear with me, please. Okay, thank you. Anyways, okay, so this is what my pattern looks like, and hopefully you'll have something similar to this. Now, the reason why I have this right here, you're gonna have, I'm gonna set this down because it's time to set it down. There we go. Okay, so you're gonna have this, just this part right here. Okay, that's gonna be like either, you know, your bottom, whatever shape your bottom foot is, or how I took my sock and flattened it out and laid it on top of my paper, and I held it down and I just traced it out. Okay, so this is the shape that I had without this top part right here. This is the shape. I cut it out. I you know, straightened out all of my edges, and then I cut it out. Now, how I got this extended part right here is that I just went from the sides right here and just went straight up to how far I wanted to go up. Okay, so, or have a big enough sock that, you know, is made out of that as well. So, okay, so like I said, getting back to this pattern here. Okay, so you're going to use, you're just going to go up from the sides and extend it to however far you want it to go. And say you have this, or your foot is too big and it's just on this and it doesn't extend all the way up, you're going to take this and go up even further. And once you cut it out, the second piece out, you're going to take your tape and you're going to attach it at the top of here, and that will be your pattern piece. Okay, so if you can just kind of eyeball it on your fabric. Then that means when you lay your pattern down on top of your fabric, when you get ready to cut it out, you just continue cutting up further this way. You know, say I had a longer piece of fabric, I would just continue cutting all the way up here to however long I want the top of my sock to go up, how far up my leg. So if you wanted boot socks, you would cut them up. You could measure your leg length and know where you want it to stop. You'll just cut it up how many ever inches, okay? So I hope you guys got that. Okay, and also I put in a dart right here. This is a dart that's gonna go at the bottom of your it's gonna go at the bottom right there. Okay, so it's gonna go at the bottom of the foot, and so you're only gonna put it on the bottom part. So you don't need it to be that long. Now you're gonna transfer this onto your fabric. Also, you can do it in one of two ways. You can use a tracing marker for, you know, the kind that doesn't ruin your fabric. Or you can use a piece of chalk. Everyone uses chalk. Or you could take a pen while it's on top of your fabric. You take one of these little pins here, and you can stick it right here to however long length of far that you have your, I say about an inch and a half, while it's on top of your fabric. And you'll do that, and then you'll take and you'll draw that underneath here on your fabric with your chalk or your non-permanent pen. Or not pen, but well, pen or marker that's used for actual tracing marker. Okay, so, or you can do like everyone else and just cut little notches to know exactly where it's at. For the length, that's when you're just, you know, stick a pin there. All right, so let's get started. You're gonna, okay, for your fabric, this is a good way you can do it. Okay, you'll take your piece of fabric, making sure that it's a 4-way stretch fabric once again, or you're just gonna edit your pattern accordingly if it's just 2-way stretch. Then you have to have a more accurate height of your foot, so you're going to do the tracing method of your foot. Okay, so you have your fabric that you want. You'll fold it once horizontally and once vertically. This is the easiest way. Lay it down, get your pattern piece, and you'll lay it on top. You're going to pin it down or weigh it down, and then you're going to cut it out, okay? You'll cut this out. And when you're done, you should have 4 pieces, okay? So 2 pieces are going to make 1 sock. These are some that I already did. I'm just going to cut this out really fast. Now, I'm not by my cutting table. And then on this side here, like I said, do not forget to mark where you want your dart, where your dart is going to go. And you're going to make the dart, like, it doesn't have to be that wide. I have mine like sort of like 1/2 inch wide, and then maybe like 1.5 inches. And it's only going to go on the bottom part of the foot. So I'll show you once I'm done. And I'm not going to mark it with a pen because I'm used to this. Accidentally shut off my camera, so this video is going to probably be about part 1 and part 2. So right now I'm just going to make my little notches for where my dart is going to be, and then I'm going to show you guys what to do next. All right, so I have 4 pieces here. Oh. So I have 4 pieces. 2, 3, 4. So these are 2 socks, okay? So you're going to match up right size. All my right sides are already matched up. because of how I fold it. I'm going to go to the machine and I'm going to sew down all around here, all the way up here, leaving the top open. Okay, you're just going to sew all the side seam all the way down, coming back all the way up on this side right here. Okay, following your pattern. And make sure you have this dart marked out. Now you're going to sew, because it's knit and stretch fabric, you're going to sew it on with a zigzag stitch, or if you use a straight stitch and you don't have an overlocking machine. I have an overlocking machine, so I'm gonna sew this up really quickly and fast for tutorial purposes. And if you don't have an overlocking machine, you could just go ahead and, if you're gonna straight stitch it, you know, zigzag. What is the purpose for zigzag? Is because it's stretch. If your foot is a little bit fatter than what you may have cut out, say you may have cut it a little bit too small, it will allow the sock to stretch however wide without busting and ripping open your seams. So when you go ahead and do that, and we're back, and I have both of my socks right here. It's all sewn up. My dart is in them. I already turned them inside out. Now this is the finishing touches. I'm going to show you guys what you can do. Just prop this video right up here. Okay, so the top of the sock, you can do so many different things with it. If you had another piece of scrap fabric, you can ruche this fabric and you'll have like a little cute ruffle look like that. And then you can take that and attach it to the top part and sew it together inside out. And then when you flip it around, it'll be like this all around. You can even put a piece of, it'll be like this all around the top part of your sock. You know, really cute, all the way around the top of your sock. Can you see that? Let me see. Yeah, there you go. So you have like a little ruffled look, okay? That's for ruffle. You can use a different fabric. You can two-tone it. You can use a piece of ribbon, or if you just want to finish it off as a basic sock, you'll just take the top, you'll fold it over once, really small. I would say this is right up under 1/4 of an inch, because when I'm finished folding it again, it should be about 1/4 of an inch. And you'll do that all the way around, and you'll stitch it all the way around using your zigzag stitch, or a straight stitch if you prefer. But the straight stitch, keep in mind, the straight stitch will probably bust once you put your foot in here and it opens wide. So the zigzag stitch is going to allow it to stretch and give without busting or ripping through any of those threads in your seams. Okay, and that is it. You have a cute, fun pair of socks. I'm going to finish these off for my little cousins. They're so cute. And by you putting the dart right up underneath, it should be right underneath the foot. By you putting the dart underneath the foot, it's going to give it that look that socks normally have, like this sock right here. It's going to give you that effect over your heel of your foot. So I hope you guys enjoyed this DIY. I am excited about and I want you guys to go over to our shop. It should have a link on the front of this page, and leave your comments, subscribe, remarks, any questions that you may have, and I'll try to get back to them as soon as possible. And be sure to go over to All Couture Wear DIY channel and subscribe, and get ready for all of these great designing outfits and sewing tips and techniques that we have in store for you guys. Okay, bye. See you later.